Today we're going to be going over 10 sexy and seductive date night fragrances for men. When it comes to choosing a fragrance for a date or an evening out, your criteria is going to be a lot different compared to choosing a fragrance to wear during the day to school or to work. So for example, when it comes to choosing a fragrance to wear during the daytime, you'll normally want something that's going to be on the fresher side. You'll also want something that has pretty good longevity to get you through the entire day. But when it comes to choosing a date night fragrance, you want really kind of the opposite. You want something that's going to be sweeter and also something that's going to be maybe a bit less strong in terms of its performance, because when you're on a date, you're going to be close to that girl. You don't want to be overwhelming her with your scent. So I wanted to go ahead and put this video together and give you 10 amazing, sexy date night fragrances that you can start wearing. These are all designers here in this video, and they all are pretty affordable, so I will link them down below to discounters if you want to grab some for yourself. First up, we have La Nuit de l'Homme L'Intense. This one has iris, violet, vanilla, and tonka bean. So what do you get from this one? Primarily, you're going to be getting a powderiness from this one. It's going to be a lot more of a powdery fragrance than maybe some of you guys will be used to. Now, of course, you can wear this one during the day if you wanted to, but for me, I see this one specifically as an evening out date fragrance because the iris is lending a powdery touch to this one, along with the tonka bean giving it also just a bit of a kind of sweet powderiness as well. It's a nice mixture here. The violet lends a nice fresh pop in the opening, and then of course you get some of that nice smooth creamy vanilla in the dry down, adding to that warmth and that sweetness. Overall, this is going to be a sweet fragrance, just like most of these in the video. This one here, I can't think of a better situation than a date night for this. The original La Nuit de l'Homme still works really good on dates. I know a lot of people just are kind of over that one. They're burnt out on it because a lot of people do wear it. A lot of people do talk about it. So there are some really good other alternatives within the same line. La Nuit de l'Homme L'Intense is one of them for sure. Up next, we have Hugo Boss Private Accord. Cacao, maninka, coffee, and vanilla are some of the main notes in this one. So to break this down, you get a fruitiness from the maninka. It's a maninka fruit. You get just a little bit of coffee in here. It's not too strong of a coffee scent, but it is there. The cacao mixes with the coffee really well, so you get a chocolatey, roasted coffee type of smell in here. And then of course a nice mild vanilla in the dry down. Vanilla is going to be a relatively popular note in this video, and this one here, it's not as strong. For example, in La Nuit de l'Homme L'Intense, I think the vanilla comes through more there, and here it's just kind of a bit of a support. So this fragrance is actually really good. Now, initially when I was getting this one in on a blind buy, I knew I was probably going to like it, but I wasn't expecting it to be this good. This one is rich. This one is complex. There's a good amount of depth and a bit of complexity here going on in this one, and it makes it interesting, and it's also very sexy. It's warm, it's ever so slightly spicy, and it is perfect for a date night. Moving along, we have Mercedes-Benz Club Black. Vanilla, benzoin, incense, and ambroxan are going to be some of the main notes in this one. So this is, in my opinion, one of the better vanilla designer fragrances out there that I've smelled. And I've gone on about this one a few times before, so I'm sure it's no stranger to you if you're a regular viewer here on this channel. It's just one of the best that I've found on the designer side. Affordable vanilla scents. I mean, it is that good. It's no joke. If you like vanilla, you're gonna love this one. If you're not too crazy about vanilla, then this may not blow you away. So you get a lot of that vanilla, a lot of that benzoin, and the benzoin kind of gives you a slightly muted, dusty balance to the very sweet, syrupy vanilla, a slight bit of smokiness, and a little bit of fuzziness from the ambroxan. This one is warm, rich, seductive, and sexy, and is a perfect candidate for a night out, date night fragrance. This stuff will really turn heads. This one will captivate whoever you are on a date with, and she'll want to come closer to smell more of this, I can guarantee it. When it comes down to it, at the end of the day, your fragrance is very important when you're going on something like a date, but you also have to make sure you cover all of your other bases, everything from just your personal hygiene, right? And to break that down further, make sure your grooming is on point, you've got a fresh haircut. Of course, I do not currently have a fresh haircut, but practice what I preach and not what I do, right? Brushing brushing your teeth, making sure your beard is trimmed up, all of that stuff. You want to make sure that you're doing those things regularly if you're trying to impress a woman. And a big one that a lot of people overlook is your skincare. You have to take care of your skin. That's why today we partnered with Tiege Hanley to be the sponsor of today's video. So I've been working with Tiege Hanley once a month here on the channel because I truly believe in their products and what they're doing for men to make it so much easier to take care of your skin. They have an amazing line of skincare products for men, and they take all of the guesswork out of it. I've been using their products for a while now, and I've noticed a big difference, and you guys have noticed it as well. I've been able to clear up my acne. I've been able to keep my skin moisturized and healthy and also protected from the sun. I recommend starting with their level 1 system, and this system covers all of the basics. A daily face wash, a 2 times per week exfoliating scrub, a morning moisturizer with SPF 20, and an evening moisturizer that you put on before bed. You get all of this for just $25 a month, shipped directly to you automatically. All you have to do is follow the instruction card that comes in every box, and that's it. And because Tiege Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're hooking you guys up with a special deal. Just click the first link in the description and you'll not only get the lowest, best possible price, but you'll also get a free hand towel with your first box. Just click that link and get started for only 25 bucks. Moving along, we have Paco Rabanne Pure XS. This one has vanilla, boozy notes, sugar, and myrrh is some of the main notes in this one. So for me, I really like Pure XS. It's one of those Paco Rabanne fragrances that are actually really good, and I don't mean that in a bad way like their fragrances are bad, but more so in terms of, for the fragrance enthusiast out there, you may actually really end up liking this one, whereas stuff like Invictus and 1 Million, your fragrance enthusiast may look at that stuff and smell it and just not be too impressed. I find that Pure XS and Pure XS Night both are pretty solid, and they have quite a bit going for them. You do get a sugary sweetness from this one, a little bit of a boozy opening, nice vanilla in here, nice sweet myrrh. Even though there's a lot of sweet notes, there's also a little bit of a fresh counterbalance, and I really like that. This one strikes a nice middle ground and gives you something that has that sweet, seductive edge, but just a little bit of a freshness so you're not going too overboard. Typically when it comes down to it, you have fresh fragrances and sweet fragrances, and women and men will have their preference. If you can kind of strike a middle ground, those are the fragrances that are going to work the best and get you the best compliments and feedback. Pure XS, a great scent, not too expensive on discounters. It's a solid performer and an amazing smell. Really nice for a date. Up next, we have Emporio Armani Stronger With You Absolutely, the newest flanker. This one has chestnut, rum, and vanilla. So you'll notice here that they brought the chestnut note back. It was there in the original. When they released Intensely, they took it away. And even when they released Freeze, they took that away, and also the gold leather edition as well, like that limited edition, but it's back here in Absolutely. And I'm glad. I like that chestnut note. And to me, it really does have a replica by the fireplace type of smell. If you're familiar with that fragrance, this one kind of gets you close. Here with Absolutely, this flanker adds a nice sweet rum, adds a nice vanilla in here. You get a bit more of an aromatic touch out of this one, but you still get a lot of sweetness, a lot of sexiness. Everything about this blend smells perfect. And for an evening out or a date night, this one here is sexy and alluring, and it'll work every time. Moving along, we have Prada Luna Rossa Black. This one has tonka bean, amber, and angelica. So the angelica is going to give off a musky and slight woodiness. Of course, the tonka bean is going to give off a lot of a powderiness. This fragrance is very powdery, and that's where it's going to be coming from. And then you get just a little bit of a sweet amber. This one here is so good. I still remember I was not expecting myself to really be enjoying it that much. I wasn't expecting my girlfriend to like this one that much. I just wasn't, really going into this one with high expectations. But I picked up a bottle over the winter time and I wore it so much. It's so satisfying. There's something about this one that is addicting. And for something like a date night or an evening out, this one is perfect because, it has that powdery, sexy smell. It also has this almost mysterious type of smell. Ever so slightly, because you smell this on a guy, it's not your average cologne. It's something different. And that'll kind of give you a bit of a different factor. People are used to smelling Nautica Voyage and blue fragrances and aquatics on men, but if you pull up wearing this, it's automatically going to be a head turner. It's going to be a game changer because you're wearing something different And if you're wearing something different, chances are that means you have something a little bit different about you. And I mean that in the best way possible. It means that you're not following the trends. It means that you're going out there doing your own thing and discovering your own thing. That's why I love this fragrance, Prada Luna Rossa Black, perfect for a date night. So this next one is kind of a strange one because this caught a whole bunch of hype and then it just disappeared. And it's like poof, it was gone. No one was talking about it anymore for the most part. You couldn't find it anywhere online. Very strange. And this has happened maybe a couple other times before in the fragrance community with just other random stuff out there where it just gets a big initial blast of everyone talking about it, going crazy over it, and then it just disappears. It vanishes. This one is Rochas Moustache Eau de Parfum. I'm sure you guys remember this one. Benzoin, pink pepper, vanilla, and cedarwood are some of the main notes in here. So you do get a lot of that vanilla, a lot of that benzoin, nice pink pepper opening up top. This gets compared quite a bit to Yves Saint Laurent Tuxedo. That is a fragrance that I do own, and I love Tuxedo. It's got strong patchouli and ambergris, so it is a bit of a different note breakdown between the two. But this one still does accomplish a very similar thing at a fraction of the price. These are going for, when you can find them, I don't know, $40, $50. Tuxedo is like well over $200, and those usually aren't discounted. Personally, I think Moustache is the better buy just because of the affordability. Tuxedo smells great, the quality is great and hard to beat, but this one also has really good quality, nice solid performance, and just a beautiful smell. It's different, it's unique, it's captivating, but it's also warm, spicy, and sexy, making this one great for an evening out. I do think there are some bottles on eBay where you can grab this one, so I will link it down below. Running down to the end here, we have Bvlgari Man In Black. This one has spices, rum, leather, and tonka bean as some of the main notes. So you do get the spices and the rum right up top, right when you first spray it on. And this one gets compared a little bit to Spice Bomb Eau de Toilette. And sure, I do see the comparison a little bit. This one's more boozy. It's got a bit less focus on all of the spices like in Spice Bomb and more focus on the tonka bean, vanilla, and rum. So really the way I think about it is Spice Bomb is a juvenile, playful, fall and wintertime scent, something that the younger crowd is really going to like or has liked over the past years that has been out. And Bvlgari Man In Black is for your guy who's a bit more mature. Sexy, it's sweet, it's spicy, and this one, kind of like Prada Luna Rossa Black, also has a bit of a mysterious type of smell about it. This is the guy who's dressed, obviously, in all black. He's kind of over there in the corner at the party, at the restaurant, the bar, whatever. He's just kind of doing his own thing. That's kind of what this fragrance is all about. Second to last fragrance, we have Commodity Gold. This one has vanilla, amber, and tonka bean as some of the main notes. So another vanilla scent, I just can't help myself. I think vanilla is a fantastic note for evenings out, for date nights, that sort of thing. This one here is another great vanilla scent, but it's just still different. It's got similar note breakdowns to other things, but it also does it in its own way. The vanilla here's a bit more light and bright. This scent is a bit more ever so slightly floral, powdery. This one, it's not going to be a masculine scent by any means, but it is still warming and inviting and sexy. The quality of this one is great. It's not all that expensive. I mean, you could get it at Commodity's website. They do go for about $100, but if you use my code CHAOS10, you can get 10% off. Again, that may sound like a lot of money, but when you're looking at it, designer fragrances retail for that price. And even some on discount or some of the higher end fragrances are still going for around that $100 mark. So you can get something here that's maybe not technically a designer. It is kind of a niche product, but you can get it in that designer price range and have something that's going to be different, going to be a bit more artistic, and will just set you apart a bit more. Commodity Gold, another one of my favorite vanilla scents for the price. And the last fragrance I want to share with you guys today is Dolce & Gabbana The One Royal Night. This one has cardamom, amber, and sandalwood as some of the main notes. So this is Dolce & Gabbana The One. When you subtract the tobacco, which yes, it does suck, but you subtract the tobacco and bump up the woods. That's essentially what this one is. You still do get that cardamom, you still do get that amber. Still smells fantastic, and a lot of that Dolce & Gabbana The One DNA is intact aside from the tobacco. This smells beautiful. This is easily one of my favorite flankers in the line, and it also has good performance. So the original Dolce & Gabbana, the one EDT, EDP, don't perform that good. It doesn't necessarily matter for this video. If you're going for a date for a couple hours, it's going to last more than a couple hours for sure. But if you want something that will have the usability to wear outside of dates as well, in the wintertime, going out, whatever, this one here, Royal Night, will work because it has better performance. Just something to keep in mind. So really, it's going to be take your pick, whichever one is your favorite, whichever one makes you feel the most confident and the most sexy on a date is the one that you're going to want. I just wanted to throw this option in there for you guys because the original EDT and EDP are talked about all the time. Royal Night, not as much. So guys, that's going to do it for me. That was 10 sexy and seductive date night fragrances for men. Hopefully you guys like this one. It's been quite a while since I've done a date night variant type of video, so I figured I was due. This is kind of my current up-to-date list on what I would wear for a date. And remember, if you guys want to start taking better care of your skin, you want to start looking and feeling even better, to check out Tiege Hanley down below. They will be linked at the first link in the description. And remember, you will get a free hand towel with your first box when you sign up. Only 25 bucks a month. What are you waiting for? And also, I will provide links to all the fragrances that we talked about today down below in the description as well. That's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.